Dun-dun-dun, music.
And with that, hello. Welcome to this third #/second episode of the final podcast.
We need to establish
I'm gonna
what
do that
number
joke
this
forever.
is. Okay.
It's episode 2, which is the third episode.
But it's the final podcast though.
It's the last one. We're not doing any more after this one. We said it last time we wouldn't do more.
No.
But this time it's definitive. We're not doing another one.
Officially the final podcast.
I'm Nick.
I'm Roberto.
And today I really want to talk about the Henry Cavill Witcher thing.
No.
Because we've been talking about it for a while. And I kind of wanted to get into that as well. So Henry Cavill, who plays Superman, among other things, said that he's a big fan of the Witcher games and books.
Well, okay, can we just one thing. I'm tired of this whole Henry Cavill's going to be the Witcher. He just said, "Oh yeah, I'd love to be the Witcher." I hate when they do that.
That's how it works though now.
I know.
On Twitter, if somebody if a celebrity says they want to play a role and then somebody photoshops them in that role, that's it. It's guaranteed. That's it.
I know. It's
all you do is you start a Kickstarter saying, "Hey, give us $100,000 and we'll make Henry Cavill the Witcher."
Oh,
God. You let people buy into that.
That's true.
You let them pay you money, and then that's it. You're good to go. You're golden.
So Henry Cavill plays the Witcher.
Well, he's not going to play the.
No.
He said he loves the books and the games, which is great. They're great books and games. We talked about them on the last episode.
I don't know about the game. I've read books.
Well, it's a great game, and you're loving the books so far. But yeah, he said that he loves the games, he loves the story, and he thinks it'd be cool to play Geralt, who's the main character, the monster hunter, essentially.
Yeah. All right. You go first. You brought it up, so what do you think?
I think it's not good. I don't think he'd be a good Geralt. He wouldn't be a good fit for that character who's this older, kind of grizzled, but also sarcastic monster hunter. I don't think Henry Cavill fits that bill.
No.
I love Henry Cavill as an actor, for sure. Mm-hmm. I could definitely see him playing in the show, playing sort of knight, maybe a different Witcher.
A knight. That'd be good.
Or some sort of
No, he'd be a knight.
He'd be a good knight.
I think
he'd be a
really good
warrior, obviously, because he's too gigantic to play anything else but a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see him in that show. He'd be a great actor to have in that show. I just wouldn't see him as Geralt because it doesn't seem like a right fit to me. I don't know about you, but
no, I know.
You don't seem to think he'd be a good fit.
I know, not at all. And just today, or was it yesterday? I don't know. I'm getting confused with dates. I saw this post online, and it was someone. Of course, there's fan-made posters. Just like a few months ago, there's a fan-made poster of Jason Momoa as Kratos for God of War,
yeah,
and
which looked great.
It looked fantastic.
I'm convinced.
Yeah. No, actually, I wouldn't mind that. And so yesterday, someone did a fan poster, and it was Henry Cavill, and it just didn't work. Even when you saw it like that, it didn't work. And there was someone else. It was side by side with another actor, and I don't remember who the actor was. Doesn't really matter. I just know that I saw that and I went no. Number one, he's too young. I think he's too young. He looks too young. To be honest, it's not a question of he is too young. He looks too young.
That's the problem, yeah.
Right. It doesn't matter. You can be 50 and you look like you're in your early 40s or late 30s. So it just, he just doesn't fit the bill.
Geralt as a character, he's almost 100 years old, but he looks like in his 40s.
Yeah.
But even then, Henry Cavill doesn't look like he's in his 40s.
Well, here's the thing. Even because we decided to do, we told each other, okay, let's do our, what we would like as a cast. And I had this problem where I was like, well, here's the thing. Am I going to cast him like I think they're going to do, which is cast someone in their 30s? And I hope they don't, because if you really want to be just a little bit, to follow the books, just a little bit true to the books, he needs to be in at least his 40s.
Or look like he's in his 40s.
Yeah. Have to look like he's in his 40s.
Because he has white hair, which helps.
Yeah, but
he's always had white hair.
And all the characters, you don't know their age. The only character that I actually know how old he is Dandelion, because right now I'm in the 4th book, and he is writing his memoirs, and he says, I'm writing... it's called 50 years. He calls it 50 years of poetry. And then they're like, why do you call it 50 years? He says, well, because it's going to be my memoirs. And they said, well, that's absurd because you're not even 40. So he's in his 30s, which kind of threw me off. He's like, because I was casting him, and I was like, I don't want to. What's going on?
We also know Ciri's age.
Exactly. She's the only one. Because then Yennefer, she's a sorceress, and so she hides it. So we don't know how old she is either.
Well, also, they also live longer than usual.
Exactly.
So it's a lot of characters who look younger than they actually are.
Yeah.
And their actual age is actually way more than you think.
Exactly. So even right now, there's a Regis the Vampire in the where I'm at, and
Great character.
he's
Again, it's a vampire.
400 years old, or I don't know
exactly.
what. So it just doesn't work, I think, because he needs to look older. I think it's interesting that they thought of him because
nobody thought of it. He said he would want to do
it. Or that they're talking about him because I think that as an actor that could be in the Witcher series, definitely. I think he'd be great, just not as the main guy. I just don't see him as the main dude.
I split up actors into pointy chins and square chins, and Geralt is like a pointy chin character, whereas Henry Cavill is a very square chin guy. He has a very square jaw, like a big square, like brick face. Whereas Geralt,
there's
to me,
only
is like
two types of actors: square jaws and pointy
exactly.
jaws.
They're all exactly the same. And so to me, like Geralt has to be like a more like elongated face kind of actor, character player person.
Okay.
So to me, that is like the main thing where his face just wouldn't work for that sort of thing.
I get it. All right. So do you want to talk about our own casting?
What we did is that we both
notes.
Pull out those notes. Pull out the script. We did basically our own dream cast. We each did a dream cast, and we also each did a nightmare cast.
Yeah.
Of what we think would be awful. And we don't mean like, oh, we don't want this actor to be cast. We really mean like it'd be awful, like a bad choice for this character. And I just want to specify before we get into the list that for the nightmare stuff, like we're not necessarily saying, I don't know who your picks are. You don't know who my picks are.
Yeah.
But the person that we're saying shouldn't play the character. We're not saying they're bad actors necessarily.
No.
We're saying they'd be awful for this character.
No,
they'd be a bad cast for this character. That's the point of this list, is that they'd be a horrible pick for that character.
Because you texted me and you said a name for an actor, and is he in your list?
I'm forgetting who I texted you.
A wonderful actor by the name of.
I told you the joke was that all my characters would be played by Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Well, is he in there?
He's not in there.
Okay.
No.
Well, there you go. Like I didn't pick him, but that'd be a perfect example of like a bad Geralt. Yeah. A bad anything. And that doesn't make him a bad actor.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though it's debatable, but
yeah,
he's a crazy actor. But
exactly, he's kind of crazy. And also for my Dreamcast, my actual Dreamcast is basically the entirety of the cast of Hannibal playing in the Witcher series.
I knew it.
Because I love every single one of those is perfect for a role in there. But I did an actual I went outside of my usual ideas and actually went in a different route because I think would be great for those characters.
I think that we might have the same Triss.
I'm sure we do. Yeah.
And it's hard to pick someone else, but maybe we don't. So I wanted to first. This is the first time we actually talk about this in the sense that how we're going to do this. I think we should. I think we should keep Geralt for the end.
Okay, you want to finish with?
We'll finish with Geralt. All right.
Okay, that's fair.
So I from bottom to top on my notes here, it's Vizimir, Dandelion, Triss, Ciri, Yennefer, and Geralt. Now it doesn't have to be that way because I think Triss should be lower in that list, but I don't know. I just wrote it down that way.
Okay, yeah, my order is a bit different, but it doesn't really matter.
You know what? So let's start with Vizimir. He's like the character to me. He's like one of the least. He's not least important, but in the books, like he's barely there. He's barely there.
He's much more important in the games.
And so here's the thing: I haven't played the games, and I tried not to look too much at the images because they might influence me.
It gives you a certain picture in your mind of who should play the character who looks like the game version.
So I was trying to base myself more on how I feel the feeling I get from the book, like what they represent. For example, like who's your Vizimir?
My Vizimir is Ian McShane.
Oh, that's good.
I think Ian McShane would be a great Vizimir because obviously not everybody knows who these characters are, but he has a great voice. But Vizimir is like this older, wiser monster hunter.
Yeah.
He has that wisdom, he has that kindness, that compassion. He cares for the people around him, but he's also he's still a skillful warrior.
Yeah.
And so to me, Ian McShane has those qualities and obviously the amazing voice.
No, he's a great actor.
Such a voice. And his face is just so expressive.
Yeah.
So I think he'd be great.
My Vizimir is Liam Neeson.
Oh, interesting.
So same kind of thing.
A taller, lankier.
He is
Vizimir.
taller. He is. That's the thing. It's the only
6'4" Vizimir.
Yeah, I know. But even my Geralt is tall, so it works. But I was looking at, like a mentor. He's like in the books. I feel like he is the leader of the. If the leader was appointed to all the Witchers, it's basically Vizimir. That's how.
He's the leader of their school.
Exactly.
Their
so
branch,
So I felt like an actor that had that presence and that had that background. I thought Liam Neeson. We've seen him have that role before.
Has he played in a lot of TV shows?
Okay, here's the thing. Mine aren't all
Neither are mine. I'm just curious about Liam Neeson specifically.
He doesn't do much TV. I don't think he does much TV.
I remember seeing him in any
But
TV
hey,
show.
it's Netflix. It's not really TV. You know, whatever. Money. If the money's there, it's this is
No,
like
I agree.
our
Some
star
of mine
cast.
are more TV. Some of mine are more like movie actors.
Me too.
But I just kind of went with again same like for the feel of the character.
You'll see even my Yennefer. Actually, I'm glad that you tell me that you didn't go with the Hannibal cast because I tried to steer away from that as much as I could because I knew who your Yennefer was from previous conversations. Yeah, from the Hannibal cast, of course.
Well, see, I picked somebody different because I went entirely different.
Good.
I've got nobody from the Hannibal cast here, even though they could all play amazing characters.
Yeah, but who so your Geralt would be Mads Mikkelsen?
Yeah. Because again, I saw that Photoshop of him as Geralt, and I was like, "Well, that's perfect. I want it. Give it to me."
And
I think
he's old enough.
He's old enough. He has the athletic element. He's a dancer, so he has like that cat-like body language, right?
Yeah.
He's very elegant, and he can still he can play a warrior. He has a great voice and an interesting accent.
Oh,
that would make him like I don't want in the games Geralt has like basically like an American accent or like standard accent. I would love a Geralt that has a little bit of a exotic twinge to him, which Mads Mikkelsen does have.
Oh, that'd be great.
Which is why I kind of think that he'd be great.
Have you ever seen him in? Have you seen him in Valhalla?
No,
Valhalla
but
Rising?
I've seen him in The Hunt, where it's just like it is in Danish the whole time, and so
No, but I mean in Valhalla
where he plays like a similar
Rising,
character,
he's playing a warrior, and he's fantastic.
Well, all those Photoshops basically take the Valhalla picture and apply like the Geralt scar and give him white hair. So I think he'd be good, but he's not my. Geralt.
Who do you want to do next? So we have Vizimir.
Ciri.
Okay,
we have three boys, 3 girls. So let's do back and forth for that.
Ciri is an interesting character because first of all, while I was doing this casting, we talked before this right now in the podcast. We talked about age, and it's difficult because I don't know in the game how old she is. In the books right now, she's 16-ish. Yeah. Starts out younger, so I had to find, and of course this is going to be for TV, so
and
they
when
usually
starts
cast
in the books, she's actually like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So you're in the 4th book right now.
But I decided they're gonna to cast someone who could play late teens because that's where I would situate the story in late teens. Let's say we wanted to do a flashback and take another younger actress, but so I went for someone who could play late teens. And it's hard to find. I had to Google this to find a young
teenage actress.
Yeah, I know that was hard. Yeah. My Google auto filled some weird stuff. I never searched for that. No, honey, that's not me. Don't search my history. So I went with Ellie Fanning.
Interesting choice.
Because
my girlfriend would agree with you. That's who she thinks would play a great Ciri.
Well.
So we also do this thing with her when you try to pick the cast for stuff like this.
Great minds think alike. I think that Ellie Fanning, it was hard to find someone that had the look that I had in my head of Ciri, which is very like a cat, like she's agile, she's small, but she's not tiny, and has to have this very fair skin and beautiful eyes. And I think Ellie Fanning, and she's a great actress. I mean, she's very good. She's only in like early 20s. And she can play that. I think she can. So it was hard because I was trying to find any actress I would look at. They would either look too old, or didn't look innocent enough. Because I think Ellie Fanning can play innocent and can play not innocent at all.
You need someone who can do both for that kind of character. Who's like this younger, rebellious warrior character girl.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if Ruby is it Ruby Rose or what's her name?
Batwoman?
Ruby Rose. I think if she was younger,
she'd be a good Ciri. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So who's your Ciri?
I picked Kiernan Shipka.
Who the heck is that?
You've seen Mad Men?
Yeah.
She plays Don Draper's daughter.
Okay.
She's a bit older now. She's actually the new actress who's going to play Sabrina the Teenage Witch in that Netflix TV show.
Oh, okay.
And same thing. She actually kind of looks like Ellie Fanning, to be honest.
Okay.
I think she'd be a great cast for the same reason. I think they should go with someone who's in their mid-teens, or at least who looks like they're in the mid-teens.
Say that name again.
Kiernan Shipka.
Oh, God.
Kiernan. He's Googling it now. Kiernan Shipka.
I'll forget it. It's going to be too long.
Search Shipka Mad Men.
Yeah, whatever.
But she has like that same like look, and she has a particular face. She doesn't have like a traditionally like... She has a particular look on her face, which I think makes her stand out. And to me, Ciri is someone who physically kind of stands out. She's not like the traditional like very cutesy tootsy princess physically. And
it's hard to find that.
Yeah, and Kiernan Shipka has a little bit different. She looks different as an actress, which I like about her.
When I don't have like my original notes. These I wrote them, like I said, I wrote them at work, and I forgot them at work. But I had like many different Siri, and one of them was the actress that played in Split.
The young, like the one who kidnapped girls.
Yeah, because I thought that she's got a powerful energy. It's like she's got a very powerful gaze. Mm-hmm. She's got a lot going like in there. Like when you look at her eyes, you can feel so many things going on there, right? So many emotions, and I thought that she'd be great as well. But then again, I kind of looked at pictures of her, again, very legit pictures of her, and I just didn't feel it. I didn't feel like she was Siri. And Ellie Fanning is the closest thing I found. It was hard. Siri was the hardest one to cast.
Yes, because there's not a lot of actresses that fit that sort of very particular bill who are younger as well. So, yeah. Do you want to do Dandelion next?
Yeah, I'm curious about this.
So I again, like my Hannibal cast is like the perfect cast, and if it was Hannibal, I'd hire Hugh Dancy to play him because he's the perfect age. He knows how to sing. He does musicals all the time. Oh, he has that charming, funny, quirky personality. I like Hugh Dancy a lot, but I would cast David Tennant as Dandelion.
Very good, very good. That is
who is this like? He's like this in his 40s, like lady charmer. What is he? A poet, but also what do you call it? A singer?
A singer. Yeah, he's a singer. He's a singer, a poet, and he's an all-out
artistic, very flamboyant kind of character.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's a very good.
David Tennant to me would definitely embody that, like the charm, but also like the kind of snarky and he's a little bit sleazy. Yeah, a little bit, and David Tennant can do that very well.
Yeah, that's very good.
So
I like this. So I have as my Dandelion, Alan Tudyk.
Oh, that's interesting.
And the other one I had that was close second, a really close second, was I can't believe I forgot his name because I only have Paul Dano in my head, but it's not that.
I don't even know who that
is. He's the guy who plays in the Prisoners. You've seen the Prisoners? Directed by Denis Villeneuve with.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't help. How about Swiss Army Man? Have you seen?
Okay, he's the guy who plays the main character.
Yeah,
in that? Okay, yeah, okay.
But that's not it. It's not. It's Vision. I hate that.
Oh,
Vision.
Jarvis?
Not Jarvis, but
the actor who plays him.
Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany. Okay, I knew Paul Bettany was one of your picks.
But he's not.
Oh,
he was my close second for Dandelion.
Okay, I was sure you would say Paul Bettany for Dandelion.
He's really close. See, good. But then I realized that I find that Alan Tudyk has more of that sense of humor and I've seen him play. Like in the series,
he played in Rogue One, right? He played K2SO.
Yeah,
that robot. That was him. Yeah.
But he also played in a Netflix series, Dirk Gently and the Holistic Agency. Yeah. And in the second season, he plays a bad guy, and it kind of showed me the range that he has of being funny, being quirky, but also being kind of weird and.
He also
sadistic.
plays Bruce Wayne's cousin on NBC's Powerless.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is another one of those DC shows we forgot to mention last time.
Okay. Well, so Alan, but
he'd be an interesting pick.
Yeah, Paul Bettany was so close, yet didn't make the cut.
You want to do Triss or Yennefer first?
Oh no, Triss. Yeah, Yennefer's
So who's your Triss? Because I'm pretty sure we're gonna be agreed upon in this.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah, that's what I have as well.
Go.
Yeah. Bryce Dallas Howard would be perfect. She has the look, she has the attitude, she has like the voice, everything that Triss is like this like younger. A little bit more excited and more girly, more like kind of a little bit of a lighter character, but still has like a serious side, and she's still a very skilled magician and a skilled person like in court dealings, and she's still a very smart, powerful character. Mm-hmm, so I feel like Bryce Dallas Howard has that tremendous range. Bryce Dallas Howard is always just fun to look at on screen.
That's what I was going to say.
It's always fun to watch her perform. Yeah. She's a very good performer, and she's always entertaining. She's always doing something interesting.
She has her face, she has so many expressions, but again, it all goes through the eyes, and I think that I recently saw, like I told you not too long ago, I saw Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Fallout Kingdom.
Good.
Jurassic Impossible.
Fallout human thing, Imaging.
The last Fallout.
There you go. My brain's confused. And again, not just because she's beautiful. She's a beautiful woman, but it's just that she really can express a lot of emotions without saying much. So that's always good. Yeah. So that's very good. And I think that she has this very easygoing. Sometimes she has this easygoing mentality or energy that she seems fun in her movies. You know, she has that side, and Triss is that. She
seems
fun.
Someone who's also fun to work with. Like she's fun behind the scenes. Like,
so I think that I knew that one was going to be because we already talked about.
I think
the
only close second is like Jessica Chastain, who could also definitely play.
Yeah,
her.
They're like almost twins. You know, they're not, but they sometimes
they
at the beginning of their careers, I had a lot of trouble finding out like
differentiating.
Thank you. It's my French brain going like kiss say did say. Yeah, so I don't think we need to say more. It's Bryce Dallas Howard. So now, now we have to go to Yennefer.
We have Yennefer and Geralt. Yeah, so
because I can't. Geralt is at the end. So Yennefer, who's your Yennefer?
So again, if I was doing like the Hannibal casting, I would cast Caroline Daverna. She's a fantastic actress. I love her attitude. I love her. She's also someone who always you can see something going on behind the eyes.
Yeah.
She seems very much in control and very much. She plays a great character on Hannibal, which helps a lot. But sorry, I would cast Eva Green as Yennefer.
Ooh.
Because Eva Green has that same look. She has that same power behind her eyes. She seems like a very intense person.
Ooh.
And she just has like that whole like haughty like hofty. How do you pronounce that? Hofty, like H-A-U-G-H-T?
Hey man, I couldn't say differentiate anyway, so I'm not gonna help you with your
very,
hefty.
Like,
Hefty?
Someone who is good at playing the character who looks down on other people, which Yennefer can sometimes be that kind of character.
She can be a bitch.
Yeah, she can be a bitch. She can be kind of a bitch. Yeah, so I feel like Eva Green would be great for that, and she plays in Penny Dreadful, and she plays a great character in Penny Dreadful that I feel like has some like little parallels to like the kind of character Yennefer would be. So I would cast Eva Green.
Very good. Very good. My Yennefer has almost the same first name. Jennifer Connelly.
Oh.
Bit older.
I haven't even considered her.
Bit older.
Yeah.
Again, can cough. She can play so many different, like, she's great at playing different personalities in the sense that she can be a bitch. She can be heartwarming. She can be she's intense. I mean, come on, she can be very intense. And I think that she has I needed someone tall. It just felt like, I'm not saying that Caroline Duvernay is small, but there's like certain characters that I saw a certain height, except for maybe Vesemir, who's like 7 feet tall, my Liam Neeson. But I don't know, I needed someone that was more imposing physically as well.
Makes
so
sense.
I almost picked like Gemma Adderton.
Yeah.
Who's also like has a build, and like in a sense she's pretty she's
wide
shoulders, So I went with Jennifer Connelly. It was hard to pick someone that can embody what Yennefer is, but I think Jennifer Connelly could do it.
I hadn't even considered that one, but I think it's a pretty good pick. I think it's you're doing it.
All right, so Geralt, who's your Geralt?
You want to go with me first?
Yeah.
My Geralt again, like Mads Mikkelsen would be a fantastic one. I forgot his name, but the guy from Vikings would be a great Geralt as well.
Are you kidding? Wait, the main character?
Ragnar.
No, because here's the thing.
Or the other Skarsgård.
I'm showing Nick right now a picture on my phone. This guy is in Vikings, and he plays Ragnar's brother, Rollo.
Right. And
he could definitely be...
He'd be pretty good.
He has the look... And of course now it's him wearing a jacket and like in an alleyway, but
he has the right face for it. He has the right like charisma for it. I feel like
I think this is from Vikings. Again, showing him a picture. But it's not. That's not my pick. But he was close seconds.
So to me, like Viking and the guy from Vikings and Mads Mikkelsen were close seconds. But Nikolai Coster-Waldau, who plays Jaime Lannister on Game of Thrones, to me he would be a fantastic pick for Geralt. He has the right face, he has the right attitude, the right acting.
I did not think of him. That is a good one.
I would love to see him play Geralt. I think he'd be perfect for it.
Well, my Geralt, I think we've talked about this, is Mr. Skarsgård, Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah,
I think he's...
My girlfriend also thinks he'd be a fantastic Geralt.
I think he'd be great. I do think that your pick is pretty good too. Now I'm conflicted. I don't know which one I prefer. Either one, I'd be happy.
Right. I think even then, like another one could play like another Witcher, or like there's so many characters.
I think that yours, I forget his name. It's hard to say his name. What's his name?
Nikolai Coster-Waldau.
Yeah, Nikolai. Let's just say Nikolai.
Nikolaj, technically.
Nikolaj. Well, Nikolaj, I think I'd go with him because number one, he's coming off.
Yeah, he's coming off Game of Thrones, so he's free. He's available,
and he'd be so happy to be able to play a character that has 2 hands.
Yeah, true, and long hair. He grows hair out again.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think he does have the chops for it. Yeah,
He has the range. And he's very charming actor.
Yeah,
lot of
but maybe
charm
too
there.
charming. I don't know.
Well, Geralt is kind of a charming character. He like Source is always like kind of hitting on him, and people are always kind of like getting interested in him, and he's always like
every freaking Source wants to sleep with him.
They don't all get to sleep with Witchers.
That's true.
Especially ones with like beautiful white locks like his.
Yeah, so that's okay. That's really good. I'm happy that we only had one casting that was the same, and
we knew going in we'd have the same one. That was kind of we both would love to see her play Triss.
Yeah, and there's a part of me went like I could just pick someone else. I know he's gonna pick her, and I was like, no, she's the one.
So again, if I was going for Hannibal cast, I'd pick Katie Isabel to play her.
Really?
Yeah, I think she'd be good. She'd be a very different kind of Triss, which I think wouldn't be wrong. And I love Katie Isabel as an actress.
Okay,
I think she's great. And I've met her, and she's the nicest person in the universe.
You told me that. Yeah.
She's a very nice person. I like her.
All right, now for the really fun part.
Yeah, the Nightmare cast.
Nightmare cast.
You're gonna hate some of these. I hope we have at least one that's the same for the Nightmare. I really hope. I don't see how we could. I really hope we have at least one that's the same one.
I have one that is so out of nowhere, it makes no freaking sense. Oh God.
Do you want to go in the same order as we did the other one?
Oh, why not?
Starting with Vesemir?
Yeah, go ahead.
You want me? Okay, I'll go first. My Vesemir is Kevin Spacey.
Okay.
Which would be the worst possible cast.
Really? Really? At least he's really a good actor.
Well, yes, but considering all the stuff that's going on with Kevin Spacey, you know how he, came out as gay and everything.
Oh God, yes.
And also the other stuff.
Bad. You know what? I'd like to see Kevin Spacey do it, but keep his accent.
The same accent from House of Cards.
From House of Cards. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awful.
Geralt, I don't know. I can't do accents.
Geralt, yeah.
My Vesemir is Mr. John Travolta.
Oh,
I mean, come on.
That's so good.
Isn't it though?
That would be.
Don't tell me it'd be a good choice. Don't tell me that.
I'm not saying it'd be a good choice, but I would love to see it. I would love to see him play that kind of character.
I have to say that a lot of the ones that I picked were almost ones that I said to myself, someone could actually say, like, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, they're horrible, but they're horrible like this could happen.
Yeah, some of my horrible ones are things that I fear could happen as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Kevin Spacey, I just felt like putting him there. Yeah. My original idea for Vesemir was Johnny Depp, which would also be awful.
I crossed out. It's like we're going to spend so much time just saying who we also thought of. I crossed out for Vesemir, Mr. Mike Myers.
Oh, wow. But they would never do that.
Well, yeah, whatever. But Mike Myers plays Vesemir.
That would be pretty bad.
Okay. Siri was next, right? Was it?
I'm pretty sure Siri was next, yeah.
Oh, God.
You go first.
I had a bit... Here's the thing. Again, it's difficult because... Number one, finding young actors and young actresses is hard, but then finding bad young actresses. So I just went with like, this is just horrible. Like they would do it for a publicity stunt. Selena Gomez.
Oh.
Like they would just pick like a singer.
Who she has acted before.
Yeah.
And on the Disney Channel. But yeah, they could, I see what you mean. Just like pick like a very famous younger actress that would help them bring in like the... Yeah. I could see them doing that.
Who'd you pick? I'm curious for the series.
So to me, my Nightmare cast also reflects my desires for the show in the sense that I don't want Siri to be like a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
When they cast her, like she should start as a young character. I guess we have to see character growth. We have to see her evolve into the woman she is, right? You can't start her off at 25, like already an adult and everything. So my Nightmare cast would be Cara Delevingne for Siri.
What is she playing?
She played an Enchantress in Suicide Squad. She played the
female
lead in Valerian.
Oh God, yes. I actually saw her.
I like her as an actress. She was bad in Suicide Squad because the script was awful, but I like her as an actress. I think she's very interesting, and she has a particular look.
Yeah,
almost like a little bit of an androgynous look.
Yeah,
that I imagine for Siri as well.
She'd be good for Siri.
She'd be good for older Siri. Yeah. She'd be great for an older Siri.
Yeah,
but I would hate for them to do that in the show, which is why she'd be my Nightmare cast.
Like
I could see them hiring her.
I really see that happening
because they want her for an older Siri. So that's why she's in my Nightmare cast, even though I would like to see her play an older Siri.
Oh man!
So that one to me is a little.
That's a really good one because that's the one that could actually happen.
Yeah, exactly. Some of these could actually happen.
I think we had Dandelion.
Who's your Dandelion?
Okay, my Dandelion is like out of nowhere, and I just thought this is so ridiculous. My Dandelion is Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
How wrong? How like what the hell is that?
I don't even see how they would cast him.
Why not? Because he's black?
Exactly.
Freaking racist. We need diversity in this cast. These are all white people.
Well, you're not wrong about that. They should cast Idris Elba as Geralt. But that's a whole other conversation.
My lord, he'd be amazing. Wouldn't Idris Elba be good for everything?
He'd be like, I want him to be Geralt and
he's,
James Bond.
He's the next Spider-Man,
and,
you know?
Oh, he should be the next Spider-Man. That'd be great.
He's the next Batman.
He plays Miles Morales, but they just CGI de-age his face.
I've done it, so they could do it for that. Yeah. Dave Chappelle. I know.
I can't even picture it in my brain.
Exactly.
I can't even see it.
That is the worst. It is.
Right,
it's bad. It's
Points
bad.
for that.
Can you imagine?
That is bad.
That is bad. That's
But what if he was played by James Franco?
Oh no!
Didn't see that one coming, did you?
This is not good for a podcast. I might start laughing.
He's removed his glasses now, which I know means he really thinks it's funny.
Dave Franco.
James Franco.
Oh no! James Franco. Sorry,
Yeah,
I get.
Dave was a little bit too young.
Oh god,
James Franco was a little bit older.
Oh, that's bad. It could so happen.
That's a cast that I could see them do. I could see them cast James Franco in in a flashback scene when he's younger. Dave Franco plays him in a flashback.
We haven't sweared a lot in the podcast, but I need to. I
could absolutely see them casting James Franco to play Dandelion.
Does that mean that they're gonna cast Seth Rogen too?
Probably. He's gonna play one of the dwarves. He's gonna play Zoltan.
That could work. Actually, could work. I wouldn't mind that. And then Jonah Hill as well.
Seth Rogen's a great actor.
Yeah. No, it's fine. But James Franco playing Dandelion. Oh god, that could so happen. Okay, who's your Triss?
Again, one that I could see them doing, but I really hope they don't. Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh wow, yeah.
Because she'd be just an awful pick for that character. But I can see them casting her and dyeing her hair red and making her play the character and
It's actually not. It's like ugh. To me, that's not an. It's more like ugh. Really? You know?
Exactly.
It's yeah. I get you. I'm sorry. From now on, everything you're gonna say is gonna be ugh, because James Franco. Just ugh, James Franco.
I just broken your mind with that one.
Yeah, you broke. Oh man, I'm broken. Triss, my Triss. I could definitely see this happening. A bit too old, but Drew Barrymore.
Oh, would that be so awful?
I just don't see her doing it. But it's not that bad. I know this is the one that's the least. I knew when I wrote it down that it was it's not that bad, but. It's Drew Barrymore. I don't know who else.
I don't think she'd be a good fit for the character, but it wouldn't be awful to watch at the same time.
I don't see her doing fantasy movies.
I guess she's never done any fantasy.
No, not
stuff?
really.
Okay, so then maybe that would be
seeing her do spells. It would just look like a comedy.
Oh, maybe they could cast Elizabeth Olsen to play her. Scarlet Witch. From the Avengers.
That's too good, actually.
I just thought of that.
That's actually good.
She'd be a good Triss.
Yeah, she would.
Oh, I just surprised myself with that one.
That'd be very good.
Because I'm so used to seeing her wave her hands around, just waiting for the CGI to be edited in, that she could do the same thing on they put her in a green screen outfit on a blue green screen set,
you go.
and she just does the recording, and they just put one part of that in The Witcher and one part in the Avengers. And just put special different backgrounds for each one.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Can I just say, going back a second for Dandelion, I wanted to put the most ridiculous, impossible one that I would love to see. Oh. And I thought I'm putting Tommy Wiseau there.
Oh my god! Oh, that's where you came from with James Franco.
I would love to see Tommy Wiseau.
Oh god.
Play Dandelion. They're never gonna do it. He won't do it. But wouldn't that be the funniest goddamn thing to see Tommy Wiseau trying to charm people?
No.
Oh hi, Geralt.
Well, Tommy Wiseau, that's not fair.
Yeah, he could play anybody.
Yeah,
he could play Yennefer.
Putting Geralt as Tommy Wiseau that's not fair. It's like saying Nicolas Cage. It's not fair. You can't do that. But yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
Who's your Yennefer?
Again, I could see this happening, and again, it's ugh, really? Courtney Cox.
Ooh, when I was searching stuff for this, I looked up brunette Hollywood actresses just to get some ideas, and she came up and I saw her and I was I couldn't even picture it. She feels so wrong for the character.
Yep.
She doesn't have the look or the voice or the attitude at all that I would imagine for that character.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'll give you that one. Courtney Cox
would be bad.
Yeah.
So Courtney Cox and Dave Franco.
Great actress, but not good for the role. Yeah. It's one of those things. Where same thing for me is my Yennefer, who's a great actress but would be awful for the role. Anne Hathaway.
Oh God, no.
She'd be terrible for that role. Be the worst pick possible. But I could see them doing it.
Oh God, no, that wouldn't work.
She's fantastic. I love watching her on screen. She's a fantastic actress.
but she's
But
not.
she'd be a terrible pick for that role.
She wouldn't work at all. Oh, and now for the
pièce
pièce de résistance.
We're both such goddamn nerds.
Who's your Geralt? Okay, crossed out. This name has been crossed out. It was Brad Pitt. It's crossed out.
Thank goodness it's crossed out.
Because there's nothing like the smirk of George Clooney.
Oh. No, he's ruined Batman. Don't let him ruin The Witcher 2.
That's why I put him. I was like, he would always be smirking. I always had that little.
You know, that little George Clooney smile. Knocks your pants off.
Did you put your little Tommy Boy? Is your Tommy Boy there? Is it your Tommy Boy?
I thought I was putting Tommy Boy there, but he's not there.
We're talking about Tom Cruise here, just by the way.
Yeah, no, he's not there. Sylvester Stallone as Geralt.
Yo, Yennefer.
Because honestly, he was in Guardians 2, and I loved the character he played in Guardians 2.
Oh,
like
I'm alone.
Older mercenary guy. I don't see him just like, well, I'm hunting monsters. Oh, come on. I'd love to see him play the character. It'd be so awful, but so entertaining.
Oh, God,
again,
no.
I'd love to see him play like another Witcher or another like a knight or some sort of like crazy character, just not Geralt.
We need to. You know what? I don't have time. I'd love to Photoshop, like, fan make a poster with all these actors.
Our full cast.
Yeah, because I just can't, like, having James Franco with Sylvester Stallone.
Can you imagine that poster? Sylvester Stallone with James Franco, Jennifer Lawrence, Kevin
Dressed-
Spacey, Cara Delevingne, all
dressed
dressed in medieval gear with like swords and stuff. It would be like the shittiest fan-made poster ever.
Oh my God, it'd be so horrible. Oh, well, this is so much fun.
It's a good thing we don't work at Netflix as executives.
Oh man. So let's recap. Vesemir is John. Mine is John Travolta. My Dandelion is Dave Chappelle. My Triss is Drew Barrymore. My Ciri is Selena Gomez. My Yennefer is Courtney Cox. And my Geralt is George Clooney. My God, this is so 90s, it's killing me. Like, George Clooney was in ER in the 90s. Courtney Cox was in Friends in the 90s. Drew Barrymore was a big star in the 90s. Dave Chappelle, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know when he really started. And, well, John Travolta is more like a 80s kind of star. But these are old movies. Not old as in their age,
your
but
age here.
yeah, I am. True. Very true. I am, yeah, my gray hair and everything.
It makes you feel younger to watch old people on screen.
It does. I guess it does. So you little puny little young.
I mean, I have Sylvester Stallone. He's like the oldest one on my list here, and then Kevin Spacey, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
But Kevin Spacey shouldn't be playing in anything now. I thought like the image of him would be awful as Vesemir.
Yeah.
A lot of people want Mark Hamill to play Vesemir.
Yeah, well,
a lot
yeah.
of fans have been like pushing it. He was like, "Oh yeah, this seems interesting."
I think that's.
And even did I get the Photoshop of like him.
It's not that bad. I think it could work.
I think he'd be good.
I mean, yeah, he's got the chops for it, and I think that he's taken he's got his life back on track because you looked at pictures of Mark Hamill like 10 years ago.
I mean, he's allowed to like.
No, he is.
Disney like forced him to like exercise like 30 hours a day to like get back into shape to play Luke. Disney's responsible for killing Carrie Fisher. Let's be honest. Like for forcing her to get back in the gym and training and at her age and all that stuff. Like they killed her.
Well,
let's be honest about that part.
Okay, but I mean, there's nothing, except for maybe dying. There's nothing wrong with him getting in shape. Like I understand it's not right that they forced him, but I mean, when you look at what he looked like
much better
now, like sure. 10 years ago, he looks good. He needed to lose some weight. We all do, but he needed to get better and in shape and all that. And I'd love to see him as a Vesemir. I'd love to.
I would too. I would still prefer Ian McShane for me though.
Yeah, no,
because I love Ian McShane. Even if they don't hire like. He could still play like Emir Var Emrys or like some other like king or like big character because like Ian McShane just has like such a wisdom behind every word he speaks.
Yeah,
I just like it's like Anthony Hopkins when he talks. I listen.
Anthony Hopkins as Vesemir.
I also thought of putting him on the list, but I thought he's a little bit too old.
Yeah,
I'd love to see him play again a king or some old magician or something like that. He's a amazing actor.
Yeah.
Like, him and Ian McShane when they talk, I listen. I'm like latched onto every word because they have such a charisma.
Have they ever been like recently like on screen together?
I don't think so.
Or actors like that, you're like, oh god, it'd be great to just have a conversation.
Yeah.
It's just like in Westworld season 1 when Ed Harris and Anthony Hopkins sit down at the bar and start talking. My girlfriend and I were watching it, and I was just like, just listen, just watch the beauty on screen of Ed Harris and Anthony Hopkins.
Does a lot of that in American Gods?
I haven't watched it yet.
No. There's at some point Ian McShane, who plays Wednesday, meets up with this guy called Chernobog, and and he's played by, I forget his name, but he always plays villains in movies, and he always plays like the crazy Russian guy. You remember John Wick 2 in the beginning, the Russian mobster who meets up with John at the car shop in John Wick 2.
Yeah.
Remember the guy who plays him? He always has a beard.
Yeah.
And he's bald and he's older, and he always like plays like this crazier guy. Him and Ian McShane share a scene. And it's two actors that I never thought would share a scene together, and I loved seeing them like together in that moment. The closest Ian McShane and Anthony Hopkins have come to sharing a screen together is because Ian McShane was in Game of Thrones season 7, and Anthony Hopkins is in Westworld, which are both on HBO. That's like the closest they've come.
I was like, where's he going with this?
Well, they were on the same channel, is what I'm trying to get at.
Wow, so on the same channel. Yeah, okay.
I'm sure somebody can find some sort of like old play they both did together, but I can't think of one.
It's kind of like the
Brad Pitt and DiCaprio?
No. Luke Picard from Star Trek and Gandalf from
Ian McKellen and
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart, yeah.
There you go.
I saw Patrick Stewart once.
Really?
I didn't meet him, but I saw him. I was at Comic-Con. He was like hanging out at his booth, and I saw him from like far away, signing pictures and stuff.
He's reprising his role as.
Yeah, I heard about that. I never watched the Star Trek TV shows.
I watched.
So I'm not really.
I watched a Star Trek. I think I watched Star Trek Voyager, which is the one with the woman as a captain. There's not that many of them that have a woman as a captain.
Shocking.
I know, right?
Back in the day, you'd think they'd always cast women for those kinds of roles, huh?
I really liked Star Trek. It's just the whole exploring and just like what I like about sci-fi something like Star Trek is that you can just like, hey, we need like a planet that has this and that and that has this weird terrain and has this weird environment, and let's just make something up, right? We need this race of humanoid aliens that can have like 10 hands. And make it up, you can't. So it's fun. Sometimes you can go overboard, but kind of like I'm curious. I've never seen the parody of Star Trek created by the guy from Family Guy.
Is that McFarlane? Oh yeah.
What's it called?
It's something. It's like the name of his ship.
Yeah, well that.
Like something McAllister.
That looks good. I think that I saw a few of the trailers, and it just the trailers made me chuckle a lot. So I'd be curious to see that.
I haven't watched any of the TV shows, but I like the new series of movies they're doing. Like the new Star Trek movies.
Yeah.
They've been doing with Chris Pine as Kirk, and I think those are pretty good movies. Like they're very fun.
And now
spacey.
Liam Hemsworth is playing in the next one because it's like I think they're doing a prequel.
Because Chris Hemsworth, was it Liam or Chris? No, you're right. It was Liam Hemsworth.
No, it's Chris Hemsworth that plays.
It's Chris. I'm not sure if it's one of
them.
No,
it's Chris.
They look so similar.
No, it's Chris Hemsworth. It's the blonde one.
Because he played Kirk's father.
Yeah.
In the opening segment of
they
want
to go. I think that the next one is going to be kind of like maybe it's going to be a big flashback or it's a prequel altogether.
That'd be cool.
I'd be fine with that. I mean,
because I know they were also saying that Tarantino might make one of the Star Trek movies and it's going to be like an R-rated Star Trek film.
That's never going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think.
I'd love it too, but that's the only thing he's never done. He's never done sci-fi. He's never done horror. Quentin Tarantino, but I mean. Death Proof is in horror and
I'm like thinking.
No, he's never really done horror.
He's never done sci-fi. He's done like there's a lot of like small horror elements to a lot of his films, like the tension and the thrill. But never like an actual horror film. But the new Star Trek trilogy of movies are kind of good. Yeah, I would love to see a prequel with Chris Hemsworth because Chris Hemsworth is always a delight to watch.
And the last one, my favorite one is the one with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Into Darkness.
Into Darkness. We talked about it. Episode 0, I guess, of our podcast. And we talked about the fact that the Dark Knight influenced that movie. Anyway, but it's my favorite one of the franchise. Just because of I like the actors. The actors are really good.
What's fun with that trilogy is that they're all kind of different. Each movie has its own like vibe and feel. The first one is very sci-fi, like very lighthearted Star Trek-y sci-fi. It has a very like fun vibe.
And there's flares galore.
Oh yeah,
it's J.J. Abrams.
That's J.J. Yeah, the second one is much darker and much more like grounded and serious and a little bit like.
And the first one had too much of Spock. They just wanted to tie in so much with the old.
I kind of like it because there was a lot of parallels between Kirk and Spock's upbringings until they meet. Like they follow both characters until they meet, and then the movie kind of really begins. So I kind of like that they acknowledge that they're both like the main.
The old
characters.
Spock, like I thought that they were.
That's fair. He is in there a lot, but that's how they tied into the universe, right? So I think it makes sense. Like they even said like, what's his name? Who played the original Kirk? I forget his name.
It's
the crazy guy.
That talks like this. Shatner.
William Shatner. Thank you. So William Shatner, they said he might like make a cameo appearance in the next Star Trek, which I think would be kind of funny, but who knows? But Star Trek, yes, Into Darkness is like much more grimy and darker, but Beyond, like the third one that came out I think last year, was much more like an action romp.
It was fun.
It was it was a very fun movie to watch. So I like that new trilogy.
I don't know how we got into the Star Trek, but anyway,
because you mentioned Picard.
That's true. You're good at this. Well done.
I pay attention when you talk. God damn it.
I don't even know half the things that are coming out of your mouth.
Blame you.
All right. Moving on.
For a few weeks now, you and I have both really wanted to talk about the goddamn Aquaman and Shazam trailers.
Aquazam,
which I keep saying Aquazam or Aqua Shazam, or I keep saying Shazam instead of Shazam.
I mean, it is a weird. It's a stupid title. I mean, Shazam. It's not a stupid. No, it's not a stupid title. It's not a
stupid name for the character.
Yeah,
there's a whole history with that character. He started out as Captain Marvel, and then the name Captain Marvel was bought by someone else. And he was Captain Marvel, but then they started calling his comic book line Shazam, and they actually just changed the name of the character to Shazam. There's a whole history behind why he's called that, right? I like titles with like exclamation point, like points, or like I like movie titles that have like particular like aesthetics or like punctuation or whatever. Like Mama, which was like wasn't a capital letter. I kind of like that.
Okay.
Movies to do this. So I like Shazam. Like I just like exclamation mark and Shazam personally.
Okay.
But you want to start Aquaman or Shazam? Where do you want to go first?
Oh wow. Let's go with Aquaman.
Okay.
I want to start with Aquaman. There's a lot of things I want to say about it, and not in any particular order because I just don't. I don't know where to begin with. Again, it's a trailer, so any movie can look like the best movie ever made with a trailer.
All the DC trailers are really good.
Yeah. Even then, I've never been really in love with the Aquaman character.
I think most people can say that.
I mean, he's. I guess he's a surfer dude. I guess he's got this sort of.
He is now, right? This is like the version that
no. Sorry,
plays, right?
the DC is it DCEU? Is
that's
that
what
DCU?
people would call it, but that's not the actual official name. I think the official name is Worlds of DC now.
The Worlds of DC, whatever they want to
DCU.
freaking call it, the DC universe,
the Batman verse.
Yeah. That's a good one. The Batman verse. It's all from there. It all comes from there.
The Batverse.
The Batverse. Anyway, in the DC universe, I'm not a fan of Aquaman. I love Jason Momoa, but I just don't. I just feel like he's so. They just pigeonholed him into this sort of character that has there's no flavor. He's like a walking stereotype of a surfer dude who's like, my man, and I'm a sexy dude, and I do one-liners, and I'm gonna kick your ass, and redheads, you gotta love them. Like, come on, you know?
And Jason Momoa's performance is fantastic. Like in his defense, he plays the character very well.
Yeah, he's
there
in
were
it.
some great moments in Justice League with him. Like, his character was underused, but that scene where he's sitting on the Batmobile and he sits on the lasso by mistake and he starts like being really honest.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know, man. I don't want to die, guys. Like there's great stuff to his character.
I guess he's like it's weird because I think the comic relief is supposed to be the Flash,
which he was for the most part.
He is, and then you have Jason Momoa's character. What is he supposed to be?
He's like a different kind of comic relief.
Yeah, is he supposed to be like the tough
relief
guy that's not really a tough guy? Because Batman's tough. He's not dark, but he's in a really dark universe. It's like he seems lost in the shuffle. It feels like they didn't really make a plan of what they. Well, I mean, I just said make a plan, and we're talking about DC.
You've already shot yourself in the foot.
It doesn't work. They obviously don't have a plan, or they're making things up as we go. Here's the thing that I noticed in the trailer that just shows you just how much they don't plan ahead. I have a question for you. Does Aquaman happen before or after Justice League?
Well, okay. I assume it happens after.
No, it's. I think it's before.
No, it's after.
It's an origin story.
Yes,
he becomes the king of.
Well, all the prequel stuff, like when you see him as a kid, as a teenager, that's all before, obviously. But the stuff in the present where he's becoming, like, he's challenging his half-brother to the throne, that's after Justice League.
Are you sure about
100%.
This?
And the reason I say that is because, remember, in Justice League, he visits Atlantis and he meets Amber Heard's character, Mera, for the first time.
Oh, okay.
For the first time, he meets her in Justice League, and now, in this movie,
well,
they become, like, partners or whatever, right? So it is actually after, even though I don't blame you that it's hard to tell.
Yeah, okay. And they're going to have to address the fact that in Justice League, they need to talk in bubbles. And then in this, they don't. You know, when I'm talking about the bubbles, I mean, in Justice League, they go underwater, they're in Atlantis, and to be able to talk, they need to create this, like, big
Mary
bubble.
uses her magic to basically create this air bubble around them.
Like, why would she need to do that? Why does she need to do that? Explain to me why she needs to do it.
First of all, I agree with you that it's weird.
Yeah.
From the behind the scenes perspective, they have said when they were making Justice League that the way they do water will be different from the way James Wan will do it in Aquaman.
Well, there you go. They don't plan ahead.
They said that.
They don't talk to each other.
To me, when what I tell myself to justify, to explain why they would do that, even though they can both breathe underwater just fine, is like she wanted to just have the two of them face to face, have a conversation, and ignore everybody around them because there was like other soldiers around them and stuff like that. She was like, "Let's cut them off. It's just you and me talking now, like a private conversation." It's like her way of creating.
Oh, she should have said that. They should have made it on.
For sure, I agree.
Yeah,
that's like my own headcanon to like make me not bothered by it.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're just ignoring that in Aquaman. They're just talking.
Yeah, it's better.
They're treating it like they're flying, basically. Yeah. It's like they're flying in the air.
Exactly.
They're just talking in the water, and that's it. And their hair is floating, and it looks actually
and their voices, and of course, are they gonna? We're just gonna ignore the fact that sound doesn't travel the same way in water.
I think you should, first of all, because the way you're hearing.
Suspend disbelief for a comic book movie?
I know, but it's like, you know, when you watch a sci-fi movie and everybody's speaking English.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the kind of stuff that, do you honestly want to hear a movie where everybody sounds like they're talking underwater, like there's an echo?
Absolutely not.
You don't want
that. I get it. No, I get it.
Just tell yourself, it's like, oh, it's their magic ears. They can hear sound perfectly.
No, perfect.
And we're hearing from their perspective.
I think it'd be great if I would then have a human be on the water and that he doesn't understand.
There you go. So that could be a fun scene.
And then you go like,
have something like that.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I do that.
But anyway. So like that's the kind of stuff that like you have to suspend disbelief. Otherwise, every single movie will piss you off.
Yeah, no.
You know, like the people who like post videos on YouTube like top 10 plot holes in Star Wars. And it's like number one, it's like there's sounds in space. It's like, do you want a movie that's completely silent when there's a space battle every time? It's like, you don't want that.
No, and to be honest, I'm just it's for the fun of it because I mean, even I said in our first episode, first podcast, you know, we're talking about Mission Impossible, and I said, well, you know, it's a spy movie, it's an action movie. You expect what you expect. You know, you don't expect Mission Impossible to be the Shawshank Redemption, Schindler's List. You know, well, I don't expect Aquaman to be
The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight.
So you want,
or to be, you know, one of those movies. I expect it to be fun, so I can dispense the whatever it is, the expression it is for disbelief. There you go.
That's to me the main thing that I got from the trailer is that the movie looks fun, which DC needs that right now.
Because this is their Black Panther.
Yeah, the kind of, to me, I was watching it and I was like, in my head I was like, Aquaman seems like the Man of Steel character, where he's this outsider who's very strong and has powers, but he has to like hide it as he grows up. In a Thor-ish world, where there's this whole other world where he's actually the king, and they have their own society, their own rules, their own magic, with like a little flavor of Black Panther story, where it's like somebody's vying for the throne, and the same thing that actually happens in Thor Ragnarok, where there's his sibling challenges him for the throne, he has to fight back and everything, right?
Yeah.
And I realized that Aquaman reminds me a lot of Thor in Thor Ragnarok. There's 3 Thor movies, and he's a very different character in each one. Yeah, because he evolves with time, right? He becomes like this very childish, kind of immature, hot-headed guy. In the second one, he's wiser, he's quieter, he's more patient, he waits, he listens. In the third, he has like this confidence, he has like this humor, this kind of je ne sais quoi, like don't care attitude. Like, he's a very lighthearted character, and this is what Aquaman reminds me of. Like I like that he's a surfer dude. I like that he has that personality. Okay. It makes him stand out. It makes him different. The fact that he was like, he does stand out.
He does stand out.
Redheads, am I right? Like, it doesn't feel like it feels like he and Batman would always like knock heads together, which they do in Justice League, right? Huh, and I like that kind of character.
Well, I think maybe then it's again because Batman grew up, or no, I mean Superman grew up in very different circumstances than Aquaman, and what's his name of the
Arthur Curry.
Tim Curry. Tim Curry plays Aquaman. Arthur Curry grows up. You can tell differently. He's probably just brought up by his father because his mother left, right? Because she had to go and be the queen of Atlantis. And I think that it shows you the difference between this farm boy and then this guy who's maybe more of an immature kind of person, because Superman's all about being mature and being the right thing and having rules and having standards and having this. And I think that Aquaman clashes because he's so free. He's a free spirit.
I get it. He doesn't care. He does his own thing.
I get it. It's just I didn't expect it to be this way, you know. And when you saw Justice League, I didn't know what to expect, and I wasn't expecting that. So it's kind of weird for me. He just stands out so much.
See, I think that's in a universe. Otherwise, if they'd have made him like Aquaman was in the comics, he'd just be exactly like Superman. He'd just be
That's true.
like like he'd just be like this like upstanding, righteous king who wants to defend all and protect the realms and talks to fish, and it just
Well, now he's not even king.
yeah,
he's gonna be
he's
king.
gonna become king at the end of the movie,
yeah.
obviously, because that's But
He spoiled it, right? Jason Momoa said in an interview, because it's not, they don't show it, and nobody ever talked about it, but in an interview, he said that at the end of this movie. Now, we would like to apologize if you hear any construction or weird noises.
Big construction sound going on outside right now, which we can't do anything about.
Yeah,
so I
it happens.
hope they didn't pick it up.
He's not king. Oh crap! See, the construction is
It's distracting. You said he spoiled this in an interview.
Yeah, he spoiled it because he basically said, that this is an origin kind of story. You see the character grow and change, and by the end he's the king of Atlantis, and he said that. But it's not. It's implied, but it's not. It's like that's a reveal at the end. He becomes the king. But I mean, it.
Anybody who's seen the trailer knows it, basically.
Well, yeah, of course, because he fights his brother for the throne, and of course he's gonna win.
It'd be cool if he wasn't. If at the end he goes like, "No, I don't want to be king. Fuck this, I'm out."
Yeah.
Like that'd be a surprise ending kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I know.
Kind of what happened in like Thor 2, where he goes like, "No, I don't want to be king." Like,
yeah.
Maybe
they don't want to do it because of that.
Maybe it's a fake week.
Maybe
It's a fake spoiler. Like how Tom Holland accidentally reveals the title of Spider-Man 2. Whoops! It's like that the Marvel execs told him, "Hey, leak this title by accident," quote unquote. So maybe it's an accident, but I'm sure he becomes king, and it's like, this going in that he's gonna win because that's the kind of movie this is.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting a lot of surprises. I'm not expecting a lot of things that go like, "Oh well, I wasn't expecting that."
Yeah.
But visually though, it does look really interesting.
It's
a very pretty movie. James Wan is doing this, which is a big part of that. He comes from a very like horror movie background.
Yeah.
And you kind of see some of that in his underwater stuff. Like there's a beautiful shot in the trailer where they plunge deep underwater, and you can see the horizon line with the water and the sky, and all the fish swirling over them.
It's like a painting,
It's exactly. A lot of DC movies have like a painting shot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them have like that moment where it looks like
that's Zack Snyder's influence
for sure. But like Man of Steel had a lot of these. But in BVS at the very end, when Superman this is not a spoiler. Have you seen BVS? Came out like 4 years ago. When Superman dies and Batman is cradling him, and there's Wonder Woman and Batman standing over them, and Amy Adams is cradling Superman in her arms, and there's like the 3 broken electrical poles above them, the 3 crosses.
Yeah.
The whole Jesus symbology, right? It's almost like a painting, that shot. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And the Wonder Woman at the end, when she defeats Mars and she like lands, and like there's all the soldiers lying around her on their knees, and she's like standing in the middle, and there's a sunrise, like a beautiful like Renaissance painting look. And so this movie has like a similar shot.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I do feel that there's always DC has always been to me the more visual of the two between Marvel and DC.
Their movies actually look different.
Yeah,
and they have like memorable shots, which Marvel movies don't really have.
The only one that had really memorable shots were Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
Thor Ragnarok has the
Doctor
fight.
Strange has beautiful shots because of the special when they travel through dimensions and shit. Like it looks beautiful, but actual like beautiful shots. Yeah, Thor Ragnarok has gorgeous shots.
The fight between Hela and the Valkyrie.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. Those
looks
are
like
paintings. Those are paintings. So that there's that. But DC has all of the DC movies have that.
Again, a big Zack Snyder influence, but even like Wonder Woman with Patty Jenkins' direction, like has amazing shots. Especially like the action scenes have amazing shots.
Yeah.
In Wonder Woman.
No, Wonder Woman was amazing.
That scene where she like fights against like the whole she breaks into like a village where the Germans are, and she fighting in a warehouse room, and then she runs towards the guy and she knees him out of a window. Mm-hmm. Remember that shot, like it's sideways from left to right, the sideways shot of her kneeing him out of the window.
That whole thing.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and plus the music and that scene, everything.
Phenomenal.
It's so good. So Hans
Zimmerman.
Yeah. Mr. Zimmerman. Zimmer.
Not Zimmerman.
Why did I say Zimmerman?
Because you're thinking of George Zimmerman, or
no. It's just it's a slip of the tongue. Hans Zimmer, yeah. So I'm looking forward more or less to Aquaman. I liked this is like a detail, but I like that it's all white. Like in the trailer, the DC logo, I think, and the Aquaman logo is white.
It's like an underwater look.
Kind
it's like
of
white and blue.
Yeah, I that was...
Even the James Wan the font they chose for his name was like I think it's like the Aquaman comic title font, or almost it's like a watery font. It's like a Waterworld font or whatever.
I think that it's stupid, but it's detailed because everything's been so dark. You know,
it looks much brighter. Like most of the scenes are during the day,
Yeah.
which you don't expect in a DC movie.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, but
Yeah.
it looks more like a Marvel movie in the sense that it seems to be serious and fun at the same time,
Yeah.
which is cool. But it's James Wan, so you know it'll be aesthetically different. It'll stand out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, it's gonna be something.
There's one thing that bothered me in it, and that's Amber Heard's hair.
Oh God.
The red hair that she has looks
like
so
like a
fake.
Yeah.
It looks like the wiggiest wig to ever wig.
I know.
It looks awful.
Or the suckiest sucks that ever sucked.
It just looks bad. I don't know what. Everything else looks really good, but her hair just looks way too red.
Yeah, me too. I remember seeing.
I don't know what that is.
It's in French. It's a détonne. It's like
Yeah.
what? You just can't. You focus on that on screen. You're like, why is it red
looks
like
fake.
that?
It just looks really, really fake. It looks like remember the Inhumans, that ABC Marvel TV show.
Yeah, I've never watched.
Well, have you seen like trailers? Like the girl with like the red hair that moves magically around it. It looks like that. It looks fake and just like cartoon red almost. I don't like that. But everything else looked really good. Sad that he didn't say "my man" in the trailer, because that would have been great.
I think just you and I kind of stuck on that.
I love that line though. It's such a good line.
My man.
My man. Or at the end when they defeat whatever the villain, and he goes, "All right."
Yeah.
So good.
That's what I said. It's like one-liners, not even like one-worders, almost. You know.
But Jason Momoa is a great actor, so I look forward to see what he can do with the movie.
I like this. Like, I'm curious because I'm curious to see him do something else than a tough guy.
Yeah,
you know?
he is kind of typecast, but I feel like he's also the kind of guy who enjoys playing tough guys.
No, I get it. I'd like to see him. I'd like to see his range. Yeah. You know, we talked about this when we talked about Mission Impossible, Henry Cavill. I'd like to see more range. I don't know, like Armie Hammer. I haven't seen Call Me by Your Name, but I've heard great things about it. I'm very curious to see it because you get a better sense of what kind of actor he is.
Yeah, he's playing something completely different from what you've seen him do before.
Because he's a pretty boy. You know, Armie Hammer's a pretty boy that can be an action star. He can be because he was in The Social Network, which
Twice.
is. Yeah, twice. Which is a bit of a different kind of role, but he's still there, the pretty boy who's rich and who's tough.
He's
and
still like an
antagonistic
character.
So yeah, I'm curious to see that.
Just I guess a weird aside, but I just realized that Charlie Hunnam wouldn't be a bad Geralt.
Charlie Hunnam, which one's that?
He plays in King Arthur, Guy Ritchie's King Arthur, main character.
You know what? The guys from Funhouse, they talked about that.
Oh, did
they? But not for Batman.
Oh, he'd be a good Batman.
For Batman.
No, Jake Gyllenhaal. That's like, it's gonna be him. That's it. It's settled. You look unhappy about that.
I love Jake Gyllenhaal, but he doesn't have the face to be Batman.
Maybe not, but he has the range.
Yeah.
I feel like we always talk about Batman, but I feel like he has the face to be Bruce Wayne. Like he'd be a great Bruce Wayne.
Oh yeah.
And I don't see someone who works better as a Bruce Wayne become Batman. I feel like that'd be an interesting take on the character.
I'd be curious to see that. Hey, listen. After Christian Bale and after Heath Ledger and after even our friend there, Batfleck. I think anybody has the enough range and who's well directed as well. I mean, I think it can work. So yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal. I love him though. He's a great actor. So don't get me wrong. I don't have anything against him. It's just like I don't have anything against Drew Barrymore, but she's not Triss. You know. Yeah. Let's go to Shazam now.
Yeah.
The thing that links the two to me is that I do not know much about Aquaman, and I do not know much about Shazam. Mm-hmm. I had to go and check out a few like articles and videos of like the origin of Shazam, and I also had to check out a few articles on the origins of Black Adam, because I thought that Black Adam was going to be in this, right? Because the Rock is playing Black Adam.
Yeah.
Maybe he is going to be at the end as like a end credit
I'm sure
scene.
He'll be in the end credit scene or something.
But so I didn't know who he was, right? So it's like a character that has been imbued with the power of Shazam, and it was like in Egypt. Is it Egypt? I don't know. Like, because I read an article saying that it was the Egyptian gods that gave him the power.
Shazam, the name itself is an acronym of 6 legendary heroes. I don't remember which all of them, but there's like Apollo in there.
The others are Greek. Yeah,
most of them are Greek. Yeah, Hercules is the H in there.
Yeah, they were Greek. Okay, I saw this video, and they said that it was Greek gods, and then for some reason, the story was that Pharaoh. No, not a Pharaoh. The story of Black Adam is basically during the Egyptian time. this character, this person that was a slave, I think, wanted to have the power to help his fellow slaves or his village or whatever, and he got the power of Shazam.
And that man was Moses.
Yeah. Exactly. That's how
he was
parted
the first Shazam. He's the
that's
original
Shazam.
Shazam.
He freaking parted the seas. He's Shazam. You don't see it in the trailer, but he can definitely part the seas. So he gets the power of Shazam, and with that, he ascends to power, and he becomes a pharaoh, and the power kind of gets to his head, and he becomes evil, and he uses the power for evil. And what happens is that the gods or whoever gave Black Adam the power, who was Shazam back then, they take the power away from him. They trick him, or I think they throw him into another dimension and throw him way far into the galaxy, like the farthest planet that we know. And they give the power of Shazam to another person, which is the person that we see in the movie with the young child. And that is the origin of Black Adam. So I found out kind of the origin of Shazam through the origins of Black Adam. Mm-hmm. And so I have no clue who this is. All I know is that it's a kid that when he says Shazam, he becomes a superhero. That is all I know because that's what I saw in the trailer.
Yeah. I think that I thought from the comic books that the kid had like this other personality inside him. Like when he would say Shazam, he becomes Shazam, but Shazam is actually his own person. That's what I thought it was in the comic books. Whereas in this movie, it's actually like the kid just becomes adult form with powers, but it's still his personality.
Yeah, because I think
that's different from the comic books. That's
weird, because I think in the comics, Shazam would become Shazam. He would start talking like an adult and like, I will protect, and I am the
exactly.
And
he's a
I will
character.
smite you and blah blah blah, right? But now, well, I understand what they're doing. It's funny. The idea
it helps
is funny.
With the comedy. Yeah, it makes it much funnier.
And I personally watched the trailer, both trailers, Aquaman and Shazam, with my girlfriend. We were both watching them on our phone, and we had the opposite reactions. Is that I went, ugh, for Aquaman, and she went like, oh, are you kidding me? Like a movie underwater? I love it. And then she went, ugh, for Shazam. I was like, no, this looks funny. This looks fun. Let's have fun.
It looks a really fun movie. It looks like a family-friendly Deadpool, almost.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. It's a family-friendly
I'm
Deadpool.
sure they won't break the fourth wall that much, but they do break it a little, especially in that trailer.
Yeah.
That little, like, the backpack shuffle dance that he does.
Yeah.
And just, like, the fact that they film him on camera, like, the sort of handheld, like, Chronicle aesthetic.
Yeah.
Almost.
I like Mark Strong. Plays the villain. I like Mark Strong.
He's great
anything.
by playing villains. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's just like his normal resting face is like, I'm gonna beat you up face.
Yeah, resting villain face.
Yeah. Apart from that, I don't have much of an opinion. I don't understand. I understand why he's so buff. Like the suit, of course, is not his actual muscles, but he still got really in shape. The actor, like I saw pictures of before and after. He's in shape. I don't mind because it's based on a comic book and blah blah.
The character himself used to be basically a rip-off of Superman.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like, so it kind of makes sense.
But it's in the same universe as Superman and Batman because in the trailer,
you see a batarang, and then you see like the newspaper cuttings.
That's one of the weird things that's going on now with all the DC universe and the Marvel universe and all that. Like, what's going to happen when X-Men and Fantastic Four finally,
You mean
Fantastic, when they finally really unite with the Avengers and all that, is that it's all such a big melting pot. I'm not used to it yet. Like, I'm not used to seeing a Batarang or the word Batman in a movie that's not Batman.
Yeah.
I'm still not used to that because I think especially Batman, because of Batman was the first, to me, was the first superhero movies I watched. And then it was Spider-Man, so it's kind of weird to see them with other characters,
Yeah, well, because that's the thing.
So
right?
the idea of Shazam teaming up with Batman is weird, or teaming up with Superman is just they're setting up these weird. But again, I mean, when you look at Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor, especially Ragnarok, are so different from the Avengers, but it still worked when you watch Infinity War. Because it's just bits and pieces, right? It's still strange, but I'm curious because Black Adam fights Superman in the comics. Yeah. So that'd be kind of, again, like, are we gonna have The Rock fight Henry Cavill?
That'd be great.
I want to see that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like DC, again, we were talking about this before, I think, but the way they kind of planned out their universe, they didn't really plan out their universe. They just kind of started doing things like, let's make a universe of all our movies together. That worked for Marvel. It'll work for us, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, there hasn't so much, and I kind of like that they've taken a step back, and that they're actually just doing more independent stuff. Like Aquaman and Shazam, yeah, like Aquaman was introduced in Justice League, and Shazam it was like I guess maybe hinted at or whatever. But they're their own standalone movies. Yeah. And now they're making the Batman standalone movie that Matt Reeves is directing. They're making a Joker movie, a Joker origin movie with what's his name? The guy who played in Her.
With Joaquin Phoenix.
With Joaquin Phoenix, he's playing, and Robert De Niro he's going to play in the movie as well.
Yeah, what?
The Joker
yeah,
movie.
what? That's because of Martin Scorsese.
It's going to be mobsters in the 80s. That's going to be the story. But then, see, they're also doing a Nightwing movie. They're doing a Batgirl movie. They're doing Gotham City Sirens, Suicide Squad 2. And all these movies are kind of like their own independent stuff. They kind of pushed back the Wonder Woman 2 as well, obviously. Wonder Woman 1984. Yeah. But they're moving. All those movies are kind of standalone. I'm sure they're going to reference all the other ones all the time, like little cameos or little Easter eggs, but they're still their standalone stuff. They haven't announced another crossover movie yet. Yeah. Which is great. Like Flash is not going well. It's already lost like 4 directors. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to do the Flashpoint story, which means that other characters would show up in the universe, like Superman or Batman. Like they should show up in that logically, right? Mm-hmm. The Cyborg movie is never going to happen.
No, I hope
not.
Let's
be honest.
Oh, God, I hope not.
I like the actor who played him, but I don't know how you do an interesting Cyborg movie. I don't know how you would do that.
Well, oh man, there's so many things. Wow,
you haven't even
so
talked about that Teen Titans TV show.
Oh God, that was like fuck Batman.
Yeah, you've seen that trailer?
Yeah, it's horrible.
I'm excited for it because I loved Teen Titans as a kid, like the animated show. I loved watching that when I was growing up, and I love the characters. It's not a very good trailer. No, it's very edgelordy and like, ooh, let's say the F word because we're dark and edgy, and like it does give that sort of vibe, especially with the music choice and everything. But I like the cast, and I'm interested to see what they do with like a darker Teen Titans TV show. It feels like what's that? Legion, the X-Men TV show. Yeah. It feels like that, like the DC version of Legion.
Oh, maybe.
Where it's like a darker, edgier, teenier Teen Titans kind of thing.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna comment on it because I don't know enough about Teen Titans, so I'm not gonna. I lost my train of thought because you were talking about you said all the different movies
are kind of individual now.
I know, but you were talking all of them. I was like, but let's name the DC movies here. Wait, you were talking about. So we're doing the Suicide Squad sequel, right?
Yeah.
Sirens?
Squad 2. No, that's 2 different things.
Sirens.
Gotham City Sirens is like Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy,
all the
Catwoman, and all of them together.
Okay, and there's that, and then there's
Nightwing,
Batgirl. What are they doing? Anyway, doesn't
Wonder Woman 2.
It doesn't matter. It's just that I guess I was trying to pinpoint one movie in particular that just like
the Joker origin one.
That might be it. Yeah,
Phoenix?
I think they're. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that's it. There you go. They are clearly making then the Killing Joke origin story. Yeah. Maybe not with Batman, but they're doing the Killing Joke origin story.
Yeah, that's what they're probably gonna do, which I hope not.
But I think they're gonna take that part of it and not take the whole Batman.
Yeah, it'll be just like the flashback into a whole movie.
Yeah, of him.
But that to me, that's a problem. Like they've already done a Killing Joke animated movie, which was really. Have you seen it?
No.
Really bad.
Well, what's gonna stop them from doing it?
The problem with Killing Joke is that it's a very short graphic novel. You've read it, right?
Yeah, I've read it.
Yeah, it's very short, right? Yeah. And to make it into a movie, they actually have to add another like 40 minutes at the beginning, where it's like just you follow Batgirl on her own like individual quest, and it's super weird. And she and Batman have sex, and it's it's a whole thing. It's super weird.
Okay.
It's like the apprentice mentor relationship, but they had the hots for each other, and it's when they add that to the story, the latter half where she gets kidnapped and like sexually assaulted by Joker. And that whole vibe, and Batman goes after Joker because of that, gives it a really weird vibe. Like his motivation is really, really weird because of that. Yeah. It's like it's not him going after the Joker for attacking his friend and apprentice and protege. It's Joker attacking his like love interest. Yeah. It just makes it really bad. It's just not good. And so I fear that if they take that flashback thing where they explain one of Joker's possible origins. Yeah. Where he was a comedian who wants to get money and robs a chemical plant for it and gets betrayed and falls into the juice and becomes green. Mm-hmm. Like if they just take that and make that into a whole movie, is it going to be a heist movie?
Oh, that'd be pretty good.
Is he going to become Joker halfway through, at the very end, at the beginning? Like what are they...
I think what I would like to see. Now we're veering into the whole. You know what? We're veering into another subject: prequels. Yeah. Let's veer into prequels. All right. So, I think that what I would like to see is kind of like Heath Ledger's Joker story, but with like Joaquin Phoenix, in the sense that it's someone who who doesn't have a white skin. It's not like he's not like that because he got burned or whatever by chemicals. He's like that by choice. and then just he became insane. I'd like to see him become insane and seek vengeance. That's what I would do. I would do him just basically going insane and turning into the Joker slowly, kind of like you see him slowly turning into the Joker, and then eventually just full on Joker, like maybe halfway through the movie, and then you're like, okay, it's him, and then he does like these crazy stuff to avenge whatever.
That's my worry, because like this always gets said about prequel movies, like we don't need a prequel to this, but the Joker is one of the ones that we especially don't need one.
No,
because to me, and I think to a lot of people, the strength of the Joker has always been that you don't know where he's from. You don't know his origins. He doesn't seem to know his origins. He comes out of nowhere. He comes out of thin air.
Yeah,
which makes him a great opponent to Batman, who is such a I'm going to say grounded, very careful here. He's very grounded in the sense that he is a living part of his city. He is very contextual. Everything about Batman and Bruce Wayne is so contextual. And when you take his opponent, his arch nemesis Joker, who comes out of nowhere, has no clear context, has no clear background, nothing to pin him down. It adds to his character, adds to his persona, adds to the fear factor of him, right?
Yeah, and that's because he's got nothing to lose.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know what he has. You don't know where he's from. No. Nothing. No. There's nothing you can use against him from his past, which is usually how you defeat someone, right? That's like the main thing, is something from their past that you can use against them. Joker has none of that. You can only fight him in the present, which makes him a more formidable opponent.
That reminds me again, so why the Dark Knight was so good, because the Joker just... Where did he live? Where did he go?
I love the fan theory that he was a like special ops military guy.
Yeah.
Because like his familiarity with explosives.
Yeah.
His familiarity with interrogation techniques.
Yeah.
His familiarity with like holding guns and being in the army, like all the stuff that the knowledge that he seems to have, and even the things he says about soldiers and wasting. Wasteful wars and stuff like that. It feels like that might be...
That would make a lot of sense.
And it would make a lot of sense. But I'm glad the movie never tells you, oh yeah, that's what it is. I'm glad that it's a mystery. Somebody can tell you that. You can always go, I don't believe that. I believe something else.
Yeah.
That's one of the strengths of the Joker.
But now they're going to tell us exactly where he comes from.
Which I'm glad it's not part of the universe. It's like a standalone movie. It's not Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah, but then again, they're going to have another Batman.
It depends. If they're doing if they're doing just a standalone Joker movie in the 80s, it can just be its own thing. It can just not have no Batman and just be like the origin story of a serial killer, essentially.
Maybe he's not in Gotham.
Maybe I would assume he's not in Gotham.
Yeah, he's not in
Gotham.
Gotham.
Joker's someone who doesn't come from Gotham, who came to Gotham seeking Batman.
So that's how you end the movie. You end the movie with him going to Gotham.
Yeah.
I think that's the way. That's the only way not the only. It's one of the best ways I see it being a standalone movie, where it ends where you link him with.
It depends if they have the confidence to really say it's a standalone movie and not make any more, or if they're going to end it on a cliffhanger and going like, "We'll make 2 more of these. It's a Joker trilogy." I hope they don't do that, because that would just be a waste of everybody's time and energy. But again, I don't feel like DC has the confidence to just go like, this is standalone. We're not making any sequels to this one. That's it.
Yeah, I understand. There's too much money to be made.
Exactly. But it's one of those things that nobody's asking for a Joker prequel movie. Nobody needs that.
No.
You mentioned to me that, or we both mentioned to each other, that Die Hard might be getting a prequel.
Yeah, movie. And I don't get it. I didn't really do any research, but what I understand is that Bruce Willis will be in it.
It's basically it's going to be 2 halves. It's basically, there's a story going on in the present with Bruce Willis, and the story in like the 70s where it's like a young Bruce Willis, a young John McClane.
So they need to cast a young John McClane.
Yeah, and the 2 characters, the stories of the 2 intertwine. Like the stuff that happened in the past affects the present. There's another movie that did that recently, and I forget what it is, but where the past story affected the present, like the same villain or the same antagonist came back into the present. I know you know what I'm talking about. There's a movie that came out recently that had that as a plot line.
Well, let's not linger on this.
So like that's what they're doing with Die Hard.
Okay.
Year 1, I think is what they're calling it.
And so I asked you to write down a few franchises or maybe just movies that you think would benefit from a prequel.
Yeah, I've got
origin stories.
Here.
So give me one.
I'll just say before, the list that I wrote. We love doing lists.
Yeah.
Is movies that I feel like could use an origin story, and I wouldn't mind watching it.
Okay.
Like that studio could do it, and I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm okay with this.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm like, ugh, why are you making a prequel?
Yeah, no,
but these I'd be like, oh, I'll watch this.
Okay.
Mission Impossible, obviously.
It's on my list.
With the young Tom Holland,
of course.
Ethan Hunt.
Too young.
It's a prequel.
It's
a prequel.
Oh yeah, it's a preteen prequel.
Prepubescent prequel.
All right.
Fast and Furious.
Really? I mean, why isn't
that? Okay, where? So I don't care about that one, but I could see them doing it.
Yeah, I
I
understand.
could see them
but
doing
mean-
like drag racing in the '60s or something, like a Vin Diesel's dad or something.
God.
Like, I could see that going.
Oh yeah,
on.
why not? All right, fuck it.
John Wick.
Ooh.
I would love a John Wick video game
Yeah.
that plays like a third-person shooter,
Yeah.
where it's like the prequel story of how like that last job that he did
Is that? Yeah.
is like that story.
That's your last
before he got
job.
out, and then the DLC could be the movie. You do like a few movie-based missions, like in the DLC, like a DLC or whatever. I don't see a John Wick prequel
That's pretty
game,
good.
but even a John Wick prequel movie would
Yeah.
be pretty cool, to be honest.
We all want to see him kill the people in the bar with the pen.
Exactly. The Matrix.
It's on my list too.
A young Morpheus and young Trinity. That'd be super interesting.
That is definitely one I'd like to see.
I know there's the Animatrix that shows like the actual origin
My
of the
God,
Matrix universe.
I wrote
but-
the Matrix with an arrow saying start from the Animatrix series, in the sense that, I mean, they go into it pretty deep, but
Oh, yeah.
but I'd like to. I think you could start with, the first few minutes are just like a condensed version of that, and then you start with Morpheus
That could be interesting.
waking up, or like something happening where he wakes up and then he starts waking up other people. I don't know. So, or maybe the first person that ever woke up. I don't know. I'd like to go back to that universe. You know,
It's a great universe. There's a lot of potential there for more.
I
more
have
content.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna do it eventually. They've already done Young Indie technically. There's Young Indie movies.
Really?
Yeah, from like the 70s and 80s.
I didn't know that.
No,
I
you
don't
never saw
remember
those?
that. No.
There's a bunch of Young Indie movies.
Oh, well, okay. Well, then,
They could do it again.
yeah.
Just hire Shia LaBeouf to play young Indiana Jones, and
I'd like to have a movie about Alfred for Batman. I'd like to see like him.
watch Gotham.
Yeah.
Like, they're even. I think they're thinking of making an Alfred TV show.
Yeah.
Like him, like when he was like in the SAS. Or
Exactly.
whatever, which would be, I'd agree, would be fucking
Because
interesting.
I'd like, the whole story of him burning on the village and the
Oh,
forest.
so you want Dark Knight Alfred specifically?
Not necessarily, but I would have
I
that.
love Jeremy Irons Alfred.
Yeah,
I think
no, he's great.
Alfred.
But that story, well, it doesn't matter. I mean, to me, it's
He can be.
you call mix them up, but that could be one of the stories that you
Yeah.
could have. You know,
That'd be great.
it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be Michael Caine and a version of. It's just like an
Yeah.
Alfred. So I had I don't know. I wrote down District 9, but it's not a series. It's
Everyone
not a
wants
franchise.
a sequel to District
Yeah,
9.
but
so-
a prequel. I want the
Yeah.
First Contact.
Yeah.
Have they ever done a James Bond?
There's young James Bond books.
Yeah,
James Bond doesn't need a prequel though, because like Casino Royale is almost a prequel.
That's true.
Like
Like,
they just reboot it and that'd be
Yeah.
a prequel, right? So I could see like why you do a young James Bond, but it would feel like just do a James Bond movie at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
no, absolutely.
The only other one I had here is
Yeah.
one that I bet you don't know, and it's Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh, of course, I've seen that. Of
You've
course.
seen that? Okay,
Of
you've
course.
seen that. I was sure
Oh.
you hadn't seen that. Okay, so Hobo with a Shotgun. I'd love to see a prequel to explain like who he is, the character, where he's from.
That's pretty good.
How did he become homeless? Why does he carry around a shotgun? Like, there's a lot of character there's a lot of character to explore
What a
there.
weird movie.
I love that movie.
What a weird movie.
In the same week I watched that movie and I watched Rubber. You ever seen Rubber?
No.
You know what it is?
Yeah, it's a tire that kills
It's,
people.
it's a tire with telekinetic powers that like just runs around a town killing people, blowing up pigeons and shit. It's an amazing movie. I love Rubber.
I've always wanted to see it, but I've never
It's
had.
incredible. Please watch it.
It's incredible. It's a.
And
it's
I
a
actually
fucking tire.
own Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh really?
I have it on my shelf there, and it's fantastic. It's a great movie.
My last one is one that I've always wanted to see. I'd like to see Harry Potter's parents.
Yeah,
The
I thought
whole
about that.
First Order of the Phoenix, is that it? No, Order of the
Well,
Deathly
there's the
Hallows or
Marauders,
whatever.
which is like what the Order of Four People gang was
Yeah.
called, and then there's the Order of the Phoenix, which is like the
I'd like to see the First Order of the Phoenix, not these fucking
I thought
Curious
about
Beasts.
That. Yeah, I was gonna say Fantastic Beasts is kind of a prequel.
But it's not the one I want.
It's not the one you want. But see, I think what most people want, and what I would want as well, would be a TV series.
Oh yeah.
Like them like in their like last 2-3 years in Hogwarts, and then like being adults and fighting in Voldemort's war, like some sort of like Netflix series with like 12 episodes per season of like, young Lily and James and stuff like that.
Nowadays, it's changed so much in the sense that you couldn't do TV shows like this before, right? And now you can because it's become more affordable and there's more money going into it. Because I mean, 10 years ago, like when Harry Potter started, what was it like 15 years ago?
Yeah, no, the first one was in 2000 or 1999, wasn't it?
Anyway, yeah. So like
Almost 20. Like,
almost 20.
Yeah.
Really? Damn.
Yeah.
Time goes by.
Yeah.
20 years ago, you can do that. You can do a TV show about it would look just so cheap and cheesy. And now, when you look at like just like the I watched the Lost in Space TV show on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
It's fine. It's not really. It's forgettable. It's very forgettable. But
It's family friendly, right? It's aimed at
yeah,
kids.
yeah. But
My
it's,
brothers watched that.
But the effects are great. I mean, there's good CGI. There's very decent CGI.
It's a lot better than like your usual TV CGI, which used to be known for being absolutely awful. But even something like Game of Thrones now, which has a huge budget, but it looks almost like movie CGI.
Yeah.
FYI. The reason it doesn't is because they make it for small TV screens. They don't bother making it for a huge movie theater screen.
Good point.
They save money on that.
The FYI, the dinosaur in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Nailed it.
Thank you. First try. The dinosaur, because of course they created a dinosaur. The whole idea is that they created.
Yeah, that's like the new plot, is like creating things from
They got to be careful because it looks like a dinosaur. They like it's
a dinosaur. It should.
Not a dragon. A dragon.
That dinosaur looks like a dinosaur. How dare they?
No, a dragon. Sorry.
Yeah, because they want to make it scarier and scalier. And...
No, yeah, but it's just be careful because be careful. I know what you're doing. You're trying to they're trying to do like dragons are big right now because of Game of Thrones and all that, but it really looks like a dragon. I was too many moments. I was like, is that Drogo? Is that Drogo on screen? Or something like that. Drogon, whatever.
You realize that in the third one, Jurassic World, whatever, Fallen Earth, whatever. They're gonna have like flying T-Rexes. Like they're gonna have they're gonna be like, oh, all the dinosaurs are loose. We have to create more dinosaurs to fight them and kill them for us.
Yeah.
Let's create flying ones.
That's how it ends,
they can
right?
Spit fire. That'll help us. That's how it's gonna be.
You know how the movie ends, right? It ends with dinosaurs.
That's what Fallen Kingdom is, right?
Yeah.
Like the kingdom of man has fallen because dinosaurs are back. That's
They free the dinosaurs into the wild, and
right.
The movie ends with Blue, the raptor, running in. I don't know where. She runs really fast because the movie takes they escape in Northern California and she looks to be like in Nevada. She runs like a motherfucker. And
Blue is home.
Yeah. That's a good tie-in. We need to have the apes. That's what they need to do. Oh. They need to get to genetically modify apes to fight the dinosaurs.
Next time for the next episode, can we talk about crossovers that we want?
Oh yeah.
Because I desperately want to do a Planet of the Apes and Alien crossover. Yeah. So bad.
Okay, we could next one of the subjects is going to be crossovers. So I think that's it. I think we've gone long enough.
We've exhausted what we wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Well, there's still I still have pages and pages and pages.
On an end note.
Yes.
Are you excited for Aquaman and Shazam? Are you gonna go see them when they come out?
Definitely. For sure, Aquaman because my girlfriend wants to see it. So it's gonna
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, and it's underwater and blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, he just spends the whole time being wet. A wet, handsome, muscly Jason Momoa.
There you go. Even I'm gonna, what do you want me to say? And the Shazam, I don't know if I have time because it's all an idea. The thing is, do I have time to go see it?
Yeah.
Am I gonna watch something else, read something else, play something else? If they have gotten my curiosity, they've piqued my curiosity. Good. I am curious, so it depends on what else comes out, the news or maybe reviews.
Right.
It all depends on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh yeah.
It's Rotten Tomatoes.
You should always base everything you
all
watch.
my life decisions are based on Rotten Tomatoes.
If it's below 65%,
no.
Don't look at it. Don't think about it. Don't acknowledge it.
No, it's a piece of crap.
Absolutely. Rotten Tomatoes is like really your go-to source for quality films.
What about you?
I'm obviously excited. Like I love superhero movies. I don't hide that. I'm not ashamed of that. Like I just love them every time. I love seeing what kind of new exciting action set pieces and what kind of new and weird like story beats they can have.
Yeah.
I don't expect to be amazed or like Shazammed or wowed by any of it.
Shazammed. I like that.
But I feel like I'm gonna have a good time for both of them. I'm sure that Shazam the trailer made me laugh a lot.
I think I'm gonna have more. That's I'm afraid of is that like all comedies or movies like that, all the best jokes are in the trailer.
And I was gonna say that was the first trailer that we've seen. I'm not gonna watch the other ones they release.
Okay.
Because I don't want to, because they're going to add more jokes to the next trailers, and I want to save as many jokes as possible for the movie. Yeah. I've seen one trailer, it made me laugh, it looks good, I'm not going to watch any more trailers. Aquaman, I might watch them just because I'm not expecting to be surprised, so I'd rather I'm curious to see like what's in it, There was another movie, Venom, like we talked about the newest trailer for Venom, I watched it, and there was some new stuff that I was like, okay, this seems interesting, I'm going to go see it either way, but I'm not, I don't expect it to be very good, the movie. It looks weird.
Yeah.
Especially like the stuff with like Venom talking to Eddie Brock and like the sort of like double like the voice in your head that tells you what to do. I don't know how well that can work. It seemed almost cheesy at the end, where it's like he peels back his face and goes, "We are Venom."
Yeah.
It just feels kind of cheesy and comic booky, but maybe it'll be fun. maybe it'll be good anyway. Who knows?
I'll leave you on. I'll leave you on this funny note. I'm not sure how true it is, but I think it is. He actually, Tom Hardy does the Venom voice, and the way he did it was by burping.
Okay, that's interesting.
Or like using. That's what I read.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me, just because he's good at doing. He's a good performer. He's good at doing voices. He like his Bane voice, the accent and everything he took was super unique and based on like a boxer, like a famous boxer, British boxer, right? So if he did the voice for Venom, that's kind of cool. I like when actors do that. Go the extra step. Like Benedict Cumberbatch did the voice for Smaug in Hobbit, and he also did the motion capture. Which amazing. You know, like you watch the behind the scenes, he looks completely ridiculous.
He got paid millions to just like crawl around the ground.
Exactly. It's cool that he like went the further step. He could have just gone like, no, I'll just do the voice. You guys do the motion capture. He could have done that, but he didn't. So I'm glad that if it is true that Tom Hardy's doing the voice or whatever,
no, he is doing the voice.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of cool that he's doing that. It helps sell the movie better because it is the same. Like Venom's voice comes from Eddie Brock's head, right? It's like the symbiote learns from him how to speak in a way, so it makes sense that it'd be his voice back at him in a different, more aggressive way. That kind of fits in with the narrative. So I kind of like that. I'm gonna go see Venom when it comes out anyway. That's like in my order of which I think will be better or worse. I feel like Aquaman will be really, really good. Shazam will be really, really funny, but a little bit less good. And I feel like Venom is kind of below the other two. I feel like it'll be mediocre.
Clearly, I don't see how Venom could be. I mean, it's just like.
But I feel like if they push in the horror stuff
more, it's like
more,
the Joker. They're making a movie about the Joker. You're like, why are you doing this?
The whole Venom seemed really interesting to me with its horror elements.
Yeah.
Up to the point of the trailer where he fights another symbiote. It's not. It's symbiote.
Symbiote.
I'm not gonna pronounce symbiote. I hate that. I hate the pronunciation in the movie.
It's symbiote.
Ugh. When he fights the other Symbi in the trailer, it's like, oh, there's two of them now. I'm like, oh, great, another superhero movie where the main character fights something that's exactly the same as him with the same powers as him at the end. Cool. I haven't seen that before.
There might be many of them.
More than one. There is two of them. There's like the Asian lady, and then there's the main antagonist.
Oh, you didn't see? Okay, so you haven't seen. There's a trailer breakdown on a website that I cannot name, I could, I guess, YouTube. There, I said it. And
don't go there, God, save your souls.
And there's a trailer breakdown, and the guy basically says like, well, this looks to be based on. He names a comic book. I don't know. There's like a Venom standalone comic book where he fights 5.
Oh God.
5 of them, and they're like all have different colors. Like there's a yellow one. He
like fights the Power Rangers.
Yeah, they're making a sequel, by the way, of the Power Rangers.
Expected.
So
he's the first one.
What?
I like the first one.
No, it takes like an hour and a half before they're actually in their suits.
I like that. I think it's a good origin movie. It takes its time.
Listen, I'm a kid of the Power Rangers. I grew up watching them before. I cried when it wasn't on Fox anymore for like I don't know what reason. I cried because I couldn't watch it. And then like we got Fox again at my house, and I cried with joy because I saw the Power Rangers.
That's fair. I won't take that away from you.
All right, so it's weird. I
won't talk about the Power Rangers ever again. I promise not to bring it up.
All right, so I think that's enough. We've gone past the time we usually do, I guess. Or no, we're just under. We're right there. We're spot on.
We're good at getting the time right at least.
Yeah. We feel it when we've talked enough. And
we don't do a lot of quality content here, but we do it on time.
We don't do a lot of quality content. We do a lot of it though.
Exactly.
There's a lot of crap. Thanks for listening, and please tune in for the next one. Thanks.
Catch you guys later.
Bye-bye.